Here we have it, our completed build of our 2008 Hyundai Azera, and we think she's going to be a tough old girl. Again, you never really know with these stock vehicles. She is straight stock. You can see, even has the straight stock bumper on it. I just kind of touched the weld right at the top to make sure that it doesn't pull off the bolts. I've had that happen on a straight stock bumper before. But she is straight stock. All the wiring we've just pulled forward. We're even running the stock Derby tank underneath. But you can see how it's all the way inside the front wheel, or the rear wheel axle, excuse me. And you can see that's a lot of rear end to hopefully bend up, have some fun. And yes, H10, that is what we're introducing here, you could say. My son, Hudson, this is his first car. And he took the number H10 as I'm L10. So H for Hud or Hudson. And I think he's excited. So you can see the second seat is in there. The the battery box rather, I ended up running right here sideways. I was thinking about doing it this way, but there's different lines that I would have had to have underneath run under here. And I'm straight stock that I would have potentially drilled into, so I didn't want to do that. So I just turned it sideways, no big issue there. That's just my old Derby battery here as I'm driving around. I don't have my new one on, but that's where it's set. Got the rear bar. Again, the only thing I have left to do, a little bit of clean up the wiring. I'm just going to zip tie it all together. There's a real good ground on both of those, and we really shouldn't be smashing all the way back up into there. It's a smaller Derby pit, Mercer Grange fair, just outside of Mercer. So we're going to leave that like that, but I'll just clean up the wiring a little bit. Up front, just took the driver's side airbag. Again, I unplug everything, but I like to take that one out just in case if for some reason one does pop, it's not going to pop into my son. And again, the passenger seat is there. You see the battery lines we have running up and under our chain there for safety. Again, pretty simple stock build, but we think she's going to be tough. I got the spare tires on the back, had a set. This one is brand new, never used. One over here is a little bent. I used it on my Nissan Altima, I think it was, 3 years ago. It was a good car, and it's just a little bent, but just has a little wiggle to it, but no issue there. So the only thing left to do, I'll air up the tires, make them hard. Again, run them hard helps in case you get rubbed against. I mean, I've really had a lot of luck with that. Underneath in the trunk, the only thing I've left to do is, haven't latched it yet, I'll run through, oh, it actually latched whenever I was driving back here, but I'll run the seat belts through there, and then again I'll seat belt each of the doors like I normally do. Again, free 99, as I always say. Seat belt with duct tape works great, but then once I'm there, I'll press up the spare tire area, which is huge, to help her hopefully fold up and in. And this girl is probably going to be one of the bigger cars it's just stock youth, so it'll be 4 and 6 cylinders, but she's a pretty tall 6 cylinder. So I want to try to keep it from plowing down as best we can. And yeah, I'm excited. I think my son's excited, a little bit of that anxious, excited energy. Front wheels, again, on these Hyundai, they're certainly not, you know, the tough steel like you have on your Cavaliers, or certainly your really good Derby cars like your Hondas or your also your Camrys. But the way it's set up, it's not the typical straight like for example, the Cobalts, which I have back there, just a super weak spindle that's aluminum, and just, I mean, you almost look at it funny and it breaks. So this one is not that. They're tougher in the wheels. You still got to watch the wheels, and my son's been in enough derbies and I've talked him through that. We'll see how he does. Take a quick look under the hood and what we did. So again, pretty simple setup. I just topped off a little bit of my fabric softener, a little bit. I always put a little bit in the coolant whenever I'm running the stock radiator, as well as a little bit into the fill, and I had to leak out a little bit. It was so full I couldn't get any in, just a little bit of the coolant that was in it. And then you can see again the wiring, it's straight stock. I just pull all the wiring, unplug everything, and break kind of the zip tie, or not the zip ties, but the little clamps that are holding them, pull them in, then I zip tie them and kind of get them in as much as I can. Again, the fuse box was sitting here. I slid it over there and just put all the little bit of zip ties to hold it in place. Same thing with my battery. Again, just big U-bolts through the battery terminals, clamp them down as tight as you can, and then tape them, electrical tape like crazy. And then I just like to zip tie, kind of fasten them, and then a little bit of spray foam. They can move a little, but they're not going to move and potentially, you know, ground or anything like that. Hit the spray foam there again. If you get pressed on the outside, don't want anything there to happen. But otherwise, just took out the air box. That there is the computer, I don't know, tied to the tranny or what it is, but just put a little bit of, again, the spray underneath and in the corners there, so it's stationary. Again, it might move a tiny bit, but it won't move, and it's well inside of the strut there, so no issue. And the only thing I've left to do, if you watch the build of this one, right there, it's tough to see, but right in there, gone in there, is the coolant sensor. And this I just need to tighten, but this I can pull out. Again, I took out all the air box and everything, the air filter. It's just all the wiring and everything around it, including the fuel line running through there. I just could not get to it to break it loose and come out. I felt like I was about to strip it or potentially break it. So what I'm going to do is stop at AutoZone, and hopefully they have a 2008 coolant temp sensor. I'm going to buy it, just unplug it, which is kind of unique. It has a clip on it. You pop out and then it just pops right off. But unplug it, and then I'll just secure it to that line underneath the throttle body there with a little filter there, and it should be good. And again, that way she will cook. The lines, of course, are looped. You got to loop your training lines. Again, the simple piece I showed in the build, and then I just zip tie it to something well inside, and just a little spray foam there to hold in place. Again, stock up front, core support, radiator, all that. Just put the fabric softener in it along with the coolant that I already had. And then again, I just touched with the welder right there to try to make that like a nice smooth, as it's just bolted on there, and then it's bolted on there, and they allow that little bit of welding. So again, pretty simple, but you can see all the space. We took out the fan and just moved everything, same thing over there, unplugged everything, moved the wiring kind of inside this little unique piece to where if I'm getting hit up there, it can still move a little in. Same thing over here, can still move a little if my son and I get pressed there, but otherwise should be good. And hopefully we're not taking shots there until, you know, you're potentially down to the end. So again, that is her 2008 Hyundai Azera. I am excited for him. It's going to be different, dad riding in the passenger seat, but I think it's going to be fun. And I think she's a tough old girl. Hopefully she lasts for a while at least, and he can have some fun and see if he likes the experience. Camo paint, I should say. I drew the lines, just dry erase marker, and then my son put on the first coat, pretty much all of it, most of it, about 2/3 of it. I was helping him because we were running out of time as he was heading to camp. And then I just went through and quickly touched up like a second layer on some, because the paint's kind of cheap and going on the car. You usually need just a little bit of 2 coats to get it on there. And then shout out to Mom helping with the H10. She painted that on there. So we're ready to go. Again, heading to Mercer Grange Fair with GSP. First run for my son. Big old girl, she looks good. Hopefully we have some fun.